You can't unsee what you see.
It's happy hour. Okay, we just day drank.
So when we talk about you gambling and having an issue,
This is what we're talking about. Do not buy another JVA warranty until you've looked at the Caddie Workmanship Guarantee Program.
We're kicking ass and taking names, apparently.
Caddie Shack.
dude, it's been a minute.
I know.
What?
The old pod. The old pod, it was on hiatus.
It was on hiatus. It's hard to keep up with that with everything else when you're juggling all the priorities, right? And unfortunately, we kind of dropped the ball there. I mean, we've moved offices, we've done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, moved out of the South Lake location. Mm-hmm. Great spot. Shout out. Loved South Lake. A little bit of a haul for me. Probably one of the reasons, maybe one of the reasons we're not there anymore. But yeah it's I think as an entrepreneur, anybody watching this that owns a business or whatever, spends any time on their own businesses, it's like you got to, like you said, there's like so much to balance, and time-wise, it's like, spending time in the car, and maybe you've seen it from being able to be close to the restaurants and everything else, and work from home for the last few months or whatever. It's like, dang, you get those hours back or that time back, and also, you knock things off your checklist. So it creates a little less stress because you have another hour or whatever in the day to like, I can get something done. Oh, yeah.
Well, it's funny. To your point, there's two things. Do you remember I bought a Tesla while we were at the South Lake office? Yeah. And legitimately, the reason I originally got the Tesla was because of the autopilot. Yeah. Right? So I could actually like fuddle with my phone or do whatever during that commute, because even though I live in Flower Mound, Texas, which is close to South Lake, it's still a 30-minute commute to the office, and so I was trying to be productive.
You're screwed by that road. Anybody that works or
377
has anything to do with that 377 road, you got to fix that. Because every time we'd go to like the restaurant or your house or wherever after South Lake, I'd text you every time. I'd be like, what is the deal with this road? It's like it's like a highway, but 2 lanes. Doesn't make any sense.
They're bringing in thousands and thousands of houses into the thing in the streets. They just are seemingly behind schedule relative to the demand.
It'd be like, it reminded me of like, you remember when Main Street in the Colony? Those houses we went out to visit our buddy Nick that lived in the Tribute. And it was like, there was nothing out there but that grocery store. But holy moly, if you didn't add...
Dude,
4 lanes. I don't know how many lanes are out there now. 6 lanes, I think, on that road.
It's a 2-lane road.
Yeah. Oh,
it's a 2-lane road. They
gotta fix that
with a lot of people commuting. Yeah. But yeah. So I totally hear you on the commute. That's why I got the Tesla. Unfortunately,
don't you have to have your hands on the wheel though?
Yeah, I was gonna say. yeah. It's not quite there. I think Elon said it last fall that they would be done by the end of the year, and you could be able to text and drive in autopilot. But it's not that at all. I get shut off. It's hilarious. You'd crack up. I get banned from autopilot. So if I have 6 strikeouts over a 30-day period, I'm not allowed to use the service, and that has happened pretty much every 30 days.
What a janky system! You should be able to, like autopilot means hands off. Yeah, doing your makeup, doing the work, whatever you want to do, texting. Yeah,
no, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. That's why I keep my gasoline car.
But one of the things also is that businesses evolve, and so to your point on kind of the space, for those that don't know, we were working. So we had a lease in a great office, bigger probably than what we needed. It was like a 6,000 square foot space for, about 8 of us. Yeah.
Family office style.
Yeah. But what's wild is, and the reason we're jumping on here is that the businesses kind of evolve. And as an entrepreneur, what you kind of do, I've heard people say it's almost like whack-a-mole, where you're looking at opportunities and you're deciding what to do. And we had that happen there. So if we're in this family office and we've got all kinds of stuff going on out of there. We've got air conditioning, guys showing up in air conditioning trucks and equipment getting delivered, and we have all this crazy stuff going on in a family office. Mind you, it's like us, and then it's wealth management people, and it's and I don't know that they were thrilled about 18-wheelers rolling through the parking lot.
State Farm agent.
So the businesses kind of evolve, and the space didn't fit what we needed, and so we've got more offices now where some of the businesses operate out of, but we're basically, and we've been fortunate enough, I think, to get the businesses in a position where we've incubated them kind of through the family office, and they can kind of go out and stand on their own, and that's super exciting. Yeah. And so one thing, so really I think the reason we wanted to jump on here, and we want to keep this podcast relatively short because there's calls, I think, here shortly, is to kind of go over like what
Where
we're
we're at.
doing, and,
Yeah.
and with all that whack-a-mole and the stuff moving around, I think people are going to see, you promoting what you're working on, and me promoting Caddie, which we've worked on. And so I just wanted to sit here and kind of say, hey, guys, this is 2026 now, which is insane. And and here's where our focuses are. And so I thought it'd be cool to update folks and then, start doing these more regularly as time permits us to do it.
Yeah. New year, new you, know?
Yeah.
I think it's, Susie joked when I launched, or started promoting ALocal, which we'll get into here in a minute, but, it's just one of those deals that she's like, oh God, what is he doing now? And it's like, there's always something.
Yeah.
I think part of what, and if you're watching this and you're an entrepreneur, if you own a business or whatever, you'll totally understand. And even if you don't, you'll understand, you can relate it to your personal life, whether it's kids sports or whatever, you want to try to do, I think as a human, you want to try to do as much as you can, right?
Yep.
Whether it's for your kids or your family or what, work.
Yeah.
And so, we started down the path of Caddie was the first thing, outside of the restaurants. I think restaurants came first after our Angie departure.
Actually, I think it was presidential pitas.
Yeah.
And then,
Hey, still a great concept.
Not a bad concept.
Still a great concept.
Yeah.
But pita pit's like no more, by the way. So we'll get back to that. If you wanted to start a pita restaurant, let us know. We got an idea. We got everything ready to go. The George Bush, it's got sprouts. I know that. All right. So anyways, so I think you try to do everything you can. And so, Caddie was the first business that we started, after our Angie departure with a certain mission in mind. And as you get going down the road of starting something, you pivot. Any business is going to pivot. You're going to change so many times.
I mean, even within that business, think about it.
Good Lord. Think about Fixed, how many times we pivoted.
Yeah.
And you just change things. And
Yeah.
you start off with the idea, and then you have to evolve, right?
Yep.
And so as Caddie evolved, it opened a lot of doors for other opportunities or business ideas or models or whatever. And, I think we kind of got down the path of trying some of those new things, but then when you try the new things, you create more entities and more.
Would you
I don't
say
know if that's
that
the best way to describe it, but you create more. It's always more, and so it's like, okay, this part of the business does this. This part of the business does this. Well, how do those work together?
Yeah.
Do they work together? They probably don't work together.
Right.
It's like
no. Well, and I think it's funny because we almost stumbled into success with some things, and don't kid yourself. There's a lot of failure with this journey, right? Like, if you think about Caddie, so we started Caddie in 2022, really, on building out the platform, went to market in 23. And what's fascinating about it is we started getting into wrapping vehicles. Hilarious. Like, we were wrapping in 2023. I think we wrapped like
one of the best ones.
100 vehicle
modules.
Yeah. But we started it with, a product where we were sourcing cell phones and called Caddie Connect. And we were, we basically took the contractor's business and thought about everything they don't have time to focus on, we can help them with as their Caddie. And even that made us lose focus on the core competency of the business, right? Mm-hmm. And so to your point, like we failed in some things there, certainly, and we'll own that. Like
not everything works.
I don't think Caddie Connect worked. Yeah. I think hilariously, I believe I was the only user that ever really opted into this cell phone service. Now, I'll mind you, very good deal.
Yeah.
Very good deal. Not well received. And so, we did, we got broad in that. And then, we did, like any entrepreneur knows, where we failed in some components of it, we had massive success in others, right? And we also had success, to your point, in the opportunities that presented themselves.
Yep.
So, like, what we did with Caddie is we launched with, and this isn't all about Caddie, but we launched with a warranty product that's far superior to what the market was doing. We were doing performance-based pay. It's still available. But we ultimately wanted to get to that workmanship guarantee product. And so, we kind of evolved that product slowly, but we tested these products. We were like, look, we need to make sure we get these out there, that they operate correctly. Yeah. And that's where we kind of stumbled into some success. We realized we can't go tell contractors or advise contractors on how to run their business, though we've done it at scale. Yeah. We can't do it confidently if we're not like messing with some of this stuff. Yeah. And so we had these, these offshoots of what were originally our tests for Caddie that evolved into good businesses.
Yeah. Does this product fit?
Yeah.
Well, let's try to use it ourselves. And if it does, then it works. If not, tweak it or cancel it or whatever.
Yeah. Scrap it. And that's the thing also for entrepreneurs that are listening, like be willing to scrap something if it doesn't work pretty quick. You know what I mean? Like
sometimes you just got to hang it up.
Fail fast. Fail fast and move on and use it as a learning lesson. And we did that. And so that brings us up to where we are today. It's what we've had, and I think you would agree with me, when we would sit down in our meetings, we would go over, I kept using the term, like we need to wear the hat of the representative of the company for which we're doing these, because those offshoots became relatively big opportunities. And what at least I felt this way, and I think you probably felt this way, it's hard to advocate on behalf of one entity when you're doing a whole bunch of entities. And so, we have these like test projects that are gaining steam and growing, and so it became hard. And so we had another issue with the channel conflict where it's like, we don't want to compete with our own customer base. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so what we've done is you and I have done some really hard introspective look and decided, hey, where do we want to spend our time? What do we think where can we add the most value? And how does it make sense to plug this together? And ultimately, how do we get to a spot where you have one principal that's like managing the independent effort of that entity? I don't know if I said that well, but that's kind of...
Yeah, I think it goes back to you want to try to do as many things as you can, but ultimately, when it comes down to it, you find yourself attracted to one of the things. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like what's your passion? What gets you excited to get up and go work for, not that the other ones are not, worthy or exciting or whatever. It's just a matter of like, hey, I am drawn to doing these things, or I'm drawn to doing this. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And I think that's where we are today. So, I want to talk about ALocal and what you're doing there, because it's super cool. And we've kind of proven the model, right? Like we've tested it, we've run it out, and it works, and it's the right time for that to grow into its own entity. And same thing for Caddie. We don't want Caddie to get neglected. So, we needed a very focused effort on that. We need to remove the channel conflict that existed, naturally from us having these offshoots. And it brings us to where we are today. There is nothing about what we're doing. We've been best friends since we were college roommates in, 2005 or whatever, 4. And that's not what's going on here. What's happening is that as a fiduciary of a company, we have an obligation to go act in the best interest of those companies. Yeah. And that's where we're at today. So we've gone and we've, effectively what we had is we had a contractor focused product that we tested with these kind of, consumer facing products and the companies that interact with customers, and we never felt great about it.
Yeah.
It's weird, right? And so here we are today. We got ALocal that's rocking, and it's kind of interesting because it's cool because ALocal, we get to work with you guys. So it's not like our working relationship is in any way impacted. Yeah,
I think it's pretty interesting because again, everything kind of usually comes full circle to some extent, and so one of the opportunities, we were talking about some of the products that didn't work for Caddie, but one of the opportunities and what we found out as we were going was, there was a lot of things we thought were important because we were coming off of fixed repair and the service side and saying, okay, we had all these employees, we needed all of this stuff and all this operational stuff. We can help solve this for contractors. But when you get down to it, contractors really didn't care about that stuff enough. They should.
It's such a small subset of contractor that really has to focus in on their P&L on things like that we were focused in on at that point, right?
So what we found is like, okay, supply, equipment, pricing, warranties, it does cost a lot of money. So it should be important. It's not always their number one.
Right.
Equipment stuff. So we kind of stumbled towards the supply side and being able to provide equipment stuff. And so then that kind of got us into being able to help these little, our testament cases where there's a couple local, contractor or, retail dealers, I guess is a better way to call it. Not really a full contractor. And so we were able to kind of help coordinate some of the installers and service companies and the equipment and bring them together to these folks that wanted to run or operate their own, what we'll call HVAC retail dealer. I think we both agree, or that was the idea. It was like, okay, HVAC hasn't changed in years.
Yep.
Why can you not go online or to a store
Right.
and buy air conditioning.
Yep.
Everything else, if you think about everything in your home, and we know the contractor objectives to this stuff, right?
Yep.
Because they're some of our own objectives if you put that hat on, right?
Right.
But you think about, why can you not go see what it costs? It's how much cars cost now because of Kelley Blue Book.
Yes.
When you need a new refrigerator, you don't call the refrigerator repair company and say, "Hey, I need a new refrigerator," and have them give you a quote. You go to Best Buy, you go online, you go to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever, right? So I think part of what ALocal is doing is teeing up and getting ready for that shift to retail service model. And again, as entrepreneurs, what excites me the most about it, and I think part of what drew me to ALocal and kind of stepping away from the Caddie stuff, is that I'm a builder naturally. I like to just build stuff. I build too many things. That's why I have too many companies, and Susie hates it. And so I've got to scale that back, and mentally in 2026, that's one of my goals, is to not try to start too many different things.
You kind of get to start little companies underneath your company, all focused on the same mission, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's, what ALocal does is, at a high level, we're basically helping set up entrepreneurs with a business in a box, local HVAC retail dealerships, and we are using the Caddie services in order to help fulfill and get the products at a very affordable price. To help with licensed install teams, all that sort of stuff. So, we're not going to use the word franchise.
Yeah.
It's not a franchise.
Yeah.
We are literally giving these people ownership in the entity. They are owning the sales channel. They own all the sales, the marketing. They run with it. ALocal basically is, we are just providing, the e-commerce website, so homeowners can go online and check pricing with that specific retail dealer. They can purchase on that platform. It allows the dealers to do some different things from a marketing perspective about getting pricing online. Again, going back to the price transparency stuff. So I'm excited about it. It's fun. It's been fun. Already started having meetings. There's a lot of people that are excited about it. And again, I think it just taps into kind of the entrepreneurial spirit of like, okay, I may be doing this today, but I need to have my own thing. There's a lot of people want to own and operate their own businesses. They just don't have the idea or the
tools to know how to do it.
Yeah, it's a scary thing. But ALocal is just kind of saying, hey, here's a business in a box. We're going to help you. We're going to hold your hand. We're going to walk you through it, and you're going to own it. So if you're successful, then it's going to benefit everybody.
Dude, I think, and we saw this, we went back, if you think about it, back in 2021, I think it was actually, when you and I were ideating about all this, and we, constructed that white paper that said, like, the industry is going to move this way. And what this way is exactly what you described. It's going to be prices online, and it's going to be, it's going to impact the way we know.
AI. We didn't know the AI back then. And we've got, there's leads coming through AI now.
Yeah.
Because of the pricing and
I think,
and all that.
I think your move to this is absolutely the right time, because we saw that this wave was coming, and it's here. I mean, it is absolutely here now. Contractor Commerce and those other platforms have done a great job of bringing people online, which I think if you think about this, and this is pretty important here, that movement is going to make what you're doing most valuable, because you're riding that wave. You're in front of the wave as opposed to trying to catch up by going out and doing this type of strategy. And the other thing, to your point on AI, like a different perspective on AI that I think is kind of interesting is, there are so many people right now that don't know what they're going to do because of AI, where they're getting laid off, or there's not, there's jobs being replaced. Yeah. What's not replaced right now is the trades. Yeah. And so you're timing it, in my opinion, at the exact right moment, because there's a lot of people that are moving into blue collar, they call it, trades. And so this just fits perfectly into the market with where things are going. Yeah. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that are super interested in participating in the air conditioning space. I mean, we continually see all the money movement on the private equity side, and even in public markets, but moving towards service-based businesses. And so it's a really good time. It's not AI giving us leads, which happens, but it's certainly an interesting time to be getting into the space. So I'm super excited and grateful that we get to partner with you on that. And I'm excited to see where it goes. And it definitely fits into what you like doing. And unfortunately, I like doing kind of the grunt work of this stuff. And I love meeting with contractors. Well,
you've got some cool stuff coming up. I don't know if you want to talk. I'll let you talk about whatever you want on the Caddie side, but there's some products there that we've, talked about for a while, and there's one specific one that I like. You may or may not want to mention it. Save it for a later podcast. Tease everybody.
It's coming.
But yeah, it's our contractors are going to use it. It's going to be awesome. Our microsite owners are going to use it, and it's listen. I mean, there is. We say all the time, or ALocal promotes all the time, that listen, HVAC is not going away. Mm-hmm. It's a necessity. And so if you're doing something else today, you need to be looking at, and if it's not HVAC, it's not, you don't have to be, but look at the other trades.
Yeah.
Plumbers, electricians. Yep. We were talking about how with all the new data centers and everything coming up, the demand for electricians is going to be huge. So, I think people
whole home batteries.
Yeah,
we'll tease that.
There's a lot of things that, people could be doing these days outside of the desk job and outside of what, maybe you went and got a degree for, but, you got to step outside that comfort zone. Yep. That's kind of what we're helping to do. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. Don't want to get too far down the road and release it yet.
Yeah.
But I do want to say that, I want everyone to know, like, you were instrumental in creating the product that we are taking to market right now, which is the workmanship guarantee. And we're super excited that the platform...
builder.
You're a builder.
I build things.
Yeah. And so we have this platform that I'm so excited to take out to market. We've run it for the last 12 plus months, testing it all out, and it's ready. And so it needs its focus, and that's where I gravitated towards that. And I'm like, I want to go try to sell a workmanship guarantee product.
And you just call a spade a spade. Mm-hmm. You spent a lot of time on, even rewinding back when we did the JB stuff.
Dun, dun, dun.
We, you were the one that built a lot of the sales and the distribution stuff. So you've got a lot of those relationships. I was helpful with that. I did a lot of the onboarding and some of the support side of that, but you teed up you teed them up, and then I would knock them down. That's kind of how it worked.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of success doing that. I mean,
no doubt.
Huge success.
Huge success, yeah.
And so, again, everybody's got their things that they gravitate to. And so, I think when we looked back at it, I was like, okay, well, if Caddie is going to, go be as successful as it needs to be, it's going to be best with you at the helm. Yeah. I'll go do my little building over here with stuff. I don't know.
I love that we call it little, but it's going to produce more cash than Caddie will. But nonetheless, it's super exciting. I thought, I know you've got a call here in 4 minutes, and but I thought it was important for us to get together and just kind of, set the record straight or whatever, and kind of just explain where we're at.
Let people know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because if you see stuff on social, you're like, well, wait a minute, I thought he was over here doing this.
Yeah. Or even worse, if you hear it from a competitor, right? Because that's where we really seem to. It's like anyone. The people that talk negatively about what you're doing aren't generally the customers. It's usually your competitors. Yeah. We see it in the restaurant space. We see it here, and so I think it's cool to just clear the air so everyone knows exactly what we're working on, and I'm excited to keep the journey going. It's just one will be focused on Caddie and one will be focused on ALocal, and that's what we're doing.
It'll be fun. I'm excited about it, and looking forward to some of the stuff you guys have. Caddie has coming out. I should say you guys, but stuff Caddie's got coming out, and I'm pumped. So it'll be a good 2026. We'll have to do a recap at some. Maybe we'll do like a mid-year recap or something. I don't know.
Well, we need to do the. I think it's worth it to keep the podcast going, and I'd like to do it more frequently because I think it's very important, as we've done so far, to tell the story and kind of keep people updated. And we haven't done a good job with keeping up with the podcast with all the new restaurant and the office moves and all the stuff we've been working through. But I want to keep updating because you're going to have a ton of success, just like we've had before with some of these similar products. And it's just fun.
Hopefully, we can offer some insights to any contractors or anybody watching. That by giving you just feedback, it's like real time, real world, real use feedback. That should hopefully be valuable.
Well, we want to lift the tide. We want everyone to be successful. Whether you're a contractor now listening to this, or you're thinking about getting into it and going with ALocal, or whatever. Like, the whole goal with what we do is to raise everything. It's not to beat someone, or maybe there's some competitors we'd like to be, but it's not to go beat someone down or talk negatively about someone else's product. It's to raise the tide. Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. And so, super excited. This will be the shortest podcast we've ever done.
Probably
because
should
we're
have
on time
done more
constraint.
like this. People would watch more. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, cool. Thanks for jumping on, especially on a whim when I wanted to get over here and do this. So
Yeah, it was great.
yeah.
Appreciate it.
Success
Let's
ahead,
go.
my dude.
2026.
2026.
Here we go.